Welcome to our live show. I'm gonna film a little clip from my reading vlog. Do not mind me, please.
That is A-okay.
Does that look okay? Okay. Chaos to begin the live show. So we are here to discuss our November book, The Charm Offensive by Allison Cochrun. I'm so excited to chat about this super cute romance, even though I took no notes and I have no idea what we're going to talk about, but I'm excited.
Me too. I really enjoyed it.
It was a fun time. It was fun. It was fun.
Mm-hmm.
I have some thoughts on it, but overall, I have very positive thoughts on this book.
Yes.
So all is well. All is good. Yeah. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing all right.
That is good. I'm posting on my Instagram story because I forgot to tell people that I have a new video out. I just remembered.
I know. I saw that on my subscriptions. I'm so behind on your videos. It's ridiculous, and I apologize.
That's okay.
And I'm also really behind on Lisa, and I'm slowly chipping away.
I'm very behind on Lisa's. I was gonna watch her new one, but then I got distracted.
I'm nervous. I mean, I know she really enjoyed it, but I'm nervous for myself because I'm scared I'm not gonna like it.
Yeah, so it has to be loved.
I think that's gonna be a library book for me.
Ooh.
What's it even called? Because I realize people aren't
Sword Catcher.
Sword Catcher. In my head, I was thinking Storm Catcher. That didn't make any sense.
I want to be a storm catcher. That would be fun.
Yeah, it's like Cassandra Clare's new book.
Yes.
I'm just such a shadow hunter girly that I'm like, can you write anything else? I'm sure she can. Like, she's the queen, but like,
yeah. I feel like I'm gonna wait to read that one until I'm caught up on the shadow hunters because
priorities.
I haven't read one in 5 years.
But I feel like for my little fantasy pea-sized brain, like I just don't think I can do it. I'm scared.
I mean, you did A Darker Shade of Magic.
Yeah, but that was like 4 years ago.
True. You're romance girly now.
I mean, I've always
been
a contemporary romance girly, but like, actually, no, that's a lie. I used to be fantasy when I was like 13. That was my thing. Yeah. Actually, specifically paranormal. That was my thing.
Oh, yeah.
Which was the era, Twilight and all of that. My beloved soul screamers that nobody else knows about, but it's my favorite.
Yeah, I still need to read those.
Oh my god, I need you to do like a whole reading vlog because I think it would be so funny.
Yes.
Because
I feel like I want to do a vlog that's just like reading like Britney for a week. So like I just read like all of like your old favorites and like your current favorites and just like see how I like it. I think it would be fun.
Please, I would actually die.
Yeah.
Like, I'm convinced that nobody is gonna like that series but me because of like the nostalgia attached to it. But like Todd,
it was just perfectly crafted for you.
It really
was made for you.
Like, it's trash, okay? Like, it is old YA trash. I don't even know when it was published, but I read it in like 2012, 2013. It's trash. It's not diverse. It's garbage. Like, it's probably really problematic, but like,
yeah.
Damn, it gets me.
The nostalgia.
That is like one thing that I will never let go of. It's my like childhood comfort. I love it so much. Anyway, The Charm Offensive. What are your overall thoughts on this book?
Okay, my overall thoughts. First, I did not know anything about what it was about. I read the description when you sent me like the books for the poll, and I was like, oh yeah, this sounds cute. But then once I got time to reading it, I had no idea what it was. But I really enjoyed it. It took me a second to get into. Like, I read like a chapter. The chapters were so long, by the way, because it was just like or just like at least on my Kindle. Anyways, sorry, the dogs are barking. Because it was like set up to like the day or like the week or whatever, and then it would change point of views, and that was really confusing for me. And I hated it because on Kindle you can like see. Yeah, I didn't like it. You can see like how long you have in the chapter, and it said 40 minutes each chapter. I was like, excuse me. So I had to turn the time off because it was intimidating me.
I can imagine. Like, I understood what she was trying to do with that. I appreciate it. Putting it into like the different days of how many days were left, whatever. But yeah, I'm a short chapter girly, so I think I would have appreciated if like each POV had its own like designated chapter, because like I didn't like having to stop in the middle of like a page because that's where like the new POV started. But yeah, like I wish they had
like a book,
chapters.
2 books could be the same length, but if chapters are long in one of them, it takes me so much longer to read the book. I don't know why.
Cassie Clare has quite long chapters.
Yeah.
I'm a short chapter girly. I always am. Like, give me a 1-page chapter and I will love you forever.
Yeah, eat it up. Eat it up. But yeah, what were your overall thoughts?
So, from the very first page, I was like, oh no, this is going to be a little bit of a fight for me. So, this book is told in third person present tense, which is my least favorite way for a book to be told. Actually, no, it's my second least favorite way. My actual least favorite way is second person. It creeps me out.
Oh, second person is so creepy.
Oh, what book was I? Oh, it was Meet Cute. Was it? Is that what it was called? Just Meet Cute? It was like the short story anthology, and almost all of them were told in second person. And I was like, I don't want the like narrator to be like, you kissed this person. Because I'm like, no, I didn't.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. Stop accusing me.
I don't think I've ever actually read like a full second person book before. I don't think I could.
I had to DNF it.
I don't think I could do it.
I think it works for books like You by Caroline Kepnes. I haven't read that book, but like I know it's told in second person. I think it would work in that regard. I just don't want to read it.
Yeah.
But yeah, my second least favorite is third person present. I think it's because I write my outlines maybe in third person present. And so when I read a book like that, it reads like an outline to me. Like it just reads like you're telling me the story. I don't know. I don't know. I hate it so much. Red, White, and Royal Blue is told in the same way, and I really struggled with that book. Especially since like I didn't read that book super quickly. I kept putting it down and picking it back up.
It took me a while to read that one too.
Yeah, so every time I like jumped back into it, it would like take me a minute. To be able to like fall back into the story and like forget about the way that it was told. And so I was worried going into this one. I was like, oh fuck, like it's told in a way that I hate. But I could tell because I think I texted you after like 1 or 2 pages, and I was like, fuck. Like,
you're like, bestie, this isn't going good.
Oh no, well. But I had faith in the characters and the story that it was going to pull me out of it. And so for the most part, I was kind of like always aware of it in the back of my mind. But overall, like the characters were so good. I really enjoyed them, and I really liked their romance in the story. And there were some quotes that I did like any note that I took, any like haphazard little note that I wrote on my phone was in reference to a quote. I just think that I don't understand. Maybe this is just me, but I just don't understand third person present. Because I'm like, if you want me, like, I do first person present when I write.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's the most immediate and intimate way you can tell a story.
Because you're like really in their head.
Yeah. And like when it's present tense, oh my god, there's a hair in my eyeball and I just pushed it in further.
No.
I'm so sorry. Oh my god. Oh my god, that really hurts.
No.
I feel like if I don't have an eyelash in my eye at least once a day.
Oh my gosh,
What's going on?
It's even worse when you have mascara on. And a mascara eyelash gets in your eye.
Have you ever had it when you're doing your mascara and an eyelash falls out? So you got wet mascara on your eye?
Yes.
The worst. Anyways, so I feel like when you do third person present, it's like you want me to be present in the moment, but the third person takes me out of it in conjunction.
Well, it doesn't really make sense either. Because I guess I get what you're saying. Because like, how are you telling a story as it's happening? Like, there's just a stalker watching them.
Yeah, like, oh, I don't like it. Because like when it's third person past, it feels like someone's telling me a story that's already happened, I guess.
Yeah.
Whereas when it's first person present, for example, it's like, oh, like that person is like narrating the story for me as it's unfolding, I guess.
Yeah.
So there's more of like I specifically chose it for my book, Reasons Why Not To, and that's the first time I ever used it. Because she has anxiety, and I'm like, it feels way more like immediate and way more like the stakes felt higher when it was like in present tense for her. So I don't know. There's something about that third person present that I just really don't like.
Yeah. Another thing that confused me too. Oh, sorry, cut you off.
No, go ahead. No, it's done.
But what confused me was like we'd be in like let's say we were in like Charlie's point of view, but then something would be said about Dev, but it sounded like it was from his point of view, but in like his chapter. Like if that makes sense.
What's
That
that
also
called?
happened a couple times. I don't know.
Like the different POVs that we learned about in school, where it's like omniscient and. Oh, my gosh, my cats are trying to break into my room. My mom didn't block my door properly. Okay, let's see. Because I don't remember at all.
It was funny because Dev's at his computer. My Dev is at his computer. When I said his name, he turned around.
Oh my god, you know what's so funny? Oh my god. What book is it? Is it Josh and Hazel's Guide? I think it's Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating, which I'm about to start reading, and that character is also named Dev. And I'm like, what are the chances?
That's
like
so funny.
2 books. Oh my god, Joey is trying to get into my room. Joey, no. Okay, give me a sec.
You're good.
Jojo.
He's a little menace. A little Joey.
Oh, poor boy.
No.
Also, I don't know if you can see, but yes, I am still wearing pajamas. I'm gonna wear jeans. I'm gonna wear jeans today. I just didn't want to sit down on my floor in jeans.
Oh no, sitting on your floor in jeans is not fun.
Seemed like torture. Okay, omniscient, told from the perspective of a narrator who knows the thoughts and feelings of many characters in the story. So I think it's like third person omniscient.
But just with like a heavy focus on specific characters, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that there were choices made in that I personally wouldn't have done.
Yeah.
But obviously she did what she wanted to do, and that's fine.
Yeah, and I mean it worked. But
yeah, like the story was good. And I was able to like, you know, enjoy myself.
Yeah.
There was enough saving graces in the book that it wasn't that big of a deal. I should have looked in the mirror when I got up. Oh, poor Joey's trying to break in. Poor Joe. Okay. Do you want to talk about the characters?
Characters? Yes. I loved most of them except for what's her face that was like coordinating everything. I hated her from the second she was introduced.
Was it Marine?
I think so. I didn't like her immediately.
She was she was something.
Yeah, but I loved all the characters. They all felt very like realistic to me. Like they felt like real people.
Yeah,
I agree. Charlie's a sweet bean.
Oh my god, I loved him. And I really like Dev. I loved this is like a whole different like topic, but like it coincides with the characters obviously. But the mental health rep in this book, I think, is what like one of the things that really saved it for me. And I was talking to Alex from, oh my god, what's his channel name? Pucks and Paperbacks, I think. And because I posted on my Instagram story, I think, and he commented or sent me like a DM, and we were talking about it, and he's like, okay, but I think you're gonna really like the mental health rep and like the romance and like whatever. And I did love the romance, like it was so cute.
Yes.
Well, I loved mental health rep, and I think probably I only took like 3 notes. Like I took note three quotes that I liked. There were more, I just didn't write them all down. And I think most of them were about the mental health rep.
It was done so well.
Yeah, I really liked it. I like how Dev had depression and Charlie had anxiety, my sweet little baby, and OCD. Because I think there was a part where Dev was like, oh, like I just assumed you had social anxiety. And he's like, oh yeah, I have that too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because that's when they were in the kitchen and he was like, I have OCD. And Dev was like, oh, okay.
He's like, I just assumed you had social anxiety. Oh yeah, that too. Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, that was a cute conversation. And I just loved how they were just like accepting of it too. Like it wasn't like stigmatized. Is that the right word? Like everyone was just like, okay, like it is what it is.
Wasn't there one who was like, well, duh, like obviously, like of course you have OCD or something?
I think it was Jules. I think
so.
Yeah,
somebody like that. Oh yeah, she was great. I don't know what I was gonna say there. I was like moving my mouth, but I'm like I have no thoughts in my head.
Yeah. Oh, I also loved Carissa. She was fun.
Who?
Carissa.
Oh,
Charlie's.
I heard Clarissa because I missed the beginning of it.
Yeah.
Because my brain just like autofilled. I was like, who's Clarissa?
Well,
Like, my memory is bad, but like, is it that bad? Yeah, no, I loved her too. She was a great little friend.
She was fun.
Okay, the romance. So cute.
The parts that I loved was like when Dev was talking to Jules about like how Charlie's like doing better with the girls and how he thinks that he's starting to like them more. And she's like, "Is that what you think, really? Like it's her that he likes?" And he was just like, "Of course." And she's like, "Okay, buddy."
He was so clueless. It was so funny.
Oh, but it was so obvious. It felt so obvious to like everyone else.
There's nothing that I love more than a completely clueless main character.
Yes.
Like they're like, "What do you mean they like me?" I'm like, "What?" Like that scene where like this person's in love with you, and they're like, "What do you mean?" But it's like they've done all of these like very obvious things to like tell you that like they're in love with you. Yeah, it makes me laugh.
Oh, they were just so cute. I love them.
I also just like love the backdrop of the like reality dating show. I thought it was like such an interesting concept for a show, like the whole like fairy tale aspect of it. I thought that was really interesting, and like all like little challenges that like they had to do, and but I like the backdrop of that because he's obviously like, oh my god, I just realized I spelled offensive wrong in the title.
That's funny.
Oh my god, can I change it while we're live? That's
offensive.
How did that even happen? I like put in a whole extra letter that did not need to be there.
Okay, I changed settings. That might.
I changed it on YouTube, so it's fine. We'll just have the pleasure of staring at that.
That's funny.
I don't even know what I was saying because I just got like my eyes just like went up and I was like, offensive.
Hello. I think it was the backdrop of the show.
Oh yeah, how he's like contracted to fall in love with all these like one of these girls, and he's falling in love with his like handler. Like it just was so funny.
So good.
Like I love like it's kind of like a forbidden romance kind of vibe because like they definitely should not have been doing anything, and Dev knew that they shouldn't have been doing anything.
Yeah.
And then there wasn't an element of fake dating. Like I'm not gonna say that like that's the trope that was used, but like they were like oh, it's just like practice. Like,
it was funny how like at the beginning they were just like, we'll just do this for practice, like practice dates.
Yeah. Like,
one thing I really loved was puzzing. That was really funny to me. And then when Charlie used it when they were like having a talk, he's like, I like to puzz, and then they were just like,
you don't say that outside of your like YouTube. Like you can't just say that to people. Like not the puzzing. Like
and then even Dev was just like, why did you say that? And he's like, oh, that's what you called it. Isn't that cool? And then he's like,
isn't that cool? There was nothing about that was cool, but I thought that whole idea was very wholesome. That like all he wanted to do was like stay inside and do his little puzzles, and like that was like his idea of like a cute little date.
Yeah. Oh, I love him.
Do you have any like favorite scenes from the romance? And I'm hoping that you do, so that you can jog my memory, so that I can also talk about things.
What are my favorites? Just I don't know everything. I really liked when Charlie brought what's his face, the artist that Dev really liked.
Yeah,
when he did that, and then Dev was like freaking out. That was adorable.
I think I realized that was gonna happen like right before it happened. I think when Deb was mentioning how they normally have like some like random country star come in, I was like, oh my god, that's the thing that Charlie was planning. I was like, oh my god,
it was so sweet.
I was like, please let that be what he was planning.
And then I like how like when they went back and like edited the show, like how they like just focused on like him, because that was like his party. It was
that whole ending.
Yeah.
Of them editing the show to show the love story between Charlie and Dev having no idea that they were doing that because he quit and was like refusing to watch the show, and just knowing that like all of his friends everyone he worked with, his parents were watching the show. They knew what was happening, and they just didn't tell him about it.
Even his therapist too.
Literally, his therapist. Oh my god! Like I think I would have crumbled. Like I would have had to tell somebody.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't have been able to like just let him wallow and be like, you know, like
I
he's
know.
not confessing his love to you every night on the show. Like,
Yeah. I just love how everyone just like came and just like, all right, we're watching this. I know you have it, but like we have to watch it tonight.
I'm actually kind of surprised that like I didn't catch on that that was gonna happen sooner.
I think I knew that was happening like right after like Deb left, and then I don't remember if Charlie like was talking to somebody, but like I think it might have been, who was it he was gonna get? Was it started with the Daphne? Is that her name?
Yes.
Yeah, I think he was talking to her, and then he was just like, I forgot what they were talking about, but I was just like, oh, I feel like it's good.
Like maybe I had an inkling of it, I can't remember.
Yeah.
But like they made way too big of a deal of like Mike's being on and like like it being in his contract that like they can use footage of him, like of Dev, for that not to come back around in some way.
Well, what I was thinking is the show was just gonna expose, what was her name? Marine,
I think.
Yeah, because I think they all had their mics on when they were talking about like changing stuff in the show and how he was gonna go with Angie instead, and then she said some very messed up stuff. I thought that was gonna like be I was so mad. I was like, excuse me, like you're just gonna casually say that with all these people in the room. Yeah, I thought that was gonna be it, but I like.
Do you like reality dating shows? Do you watch them?
I do not. I don't think I've ever watched like one, but I've seen like a little bit of a couple.
I've watched a couple. I watched The Perfect Match on Netflix with my friend Rochelle. Was it this year? It was this year. That's crazy. That one was insane. And like the whole concept of the show is like finding your perfect match, right? And by the end, like there's one couple who is like crowned the perfect match. And basically like every night they had to like match up with somebody, and if they didn't, then they were going to go home. Yeah. And it was really crazy, really weird. Someone like a couple even got engaged on the show and like all this crazy stuff. None of them are together. Not even the engaged couple, like none of them. And I was heartbroken.
I bet.
I fell down like a huge hole of like, there's also like, it was crazy. And like years ago, I watched this like random Australian one where it was like,
is it Love Island?
No. But it was like exes, like dating. And that one was crazy. I don't remember what it was called, but like that one was crazy.
That one seems like it would be juicy.
Oh yeah. And then I started this other one, that's like on this like TV app that I have, and it's like Exes on the Beach. So all of these couples, or all these like singles, signed up to be on this dating show, and then they get there and they find out that their exes are being brought onto the show, like one by one.
Yeah.
And so then they also have like their exes on the beach with them as they're like trying to like start something new with like these other people, or they can decide to like reconcile with their exes.
Yeah.
Crazy fights, and there always has to be a villain, right? Like that's like a thing that they mentioned in the book. I loved the villain on The Perfect Match. Like she was crazy. Loved her. Her name was Francesca. Like just living for the chaos.
Amazing.
I think she's engaged now to somebody, and he has like a kid, so she's gonna be like a cute little stepmom. But like the villain on this Exes on the Beach one, she's psycho.
Oh no.
Like the way she screams at her ex when he comes on is crazy. Yeah, I'm not like a huge reality dating show person.
I don't think I've ever watched any.
Like, I never watched The Bachelor.
Reality TV show I watched was America's Next Top Model.
I watch a lot of like baking shows.
Baking shows.
Have you watched Sugar Rush on Netflix?
I think I watched a couple episodes.
Love that one. You should watch the Christmas ones. I'm watching The Voice right now. Love The Voice. I would love a singing competition romance book. I'm sure it exists.
Ooh, that would be good.
That'd be fun.
Mm-hmm.
There's I think I'm about to read one. What the hell's wrong with me? I think one of the Christmas books I got on my TBR this month is a singing reality show.
Oh, I think you said that in your video.
Yeah, because I cut out a whole part where I was talking about The Voice for like a few minutes, and I was like, I don't need to talk about this. But that's why I was talking about it, because I was like, oh my god, I'm obsessed with The Voice right now. Niall, his entire team, his 3 people left on his team, are going through to the finals. So happy for him.
Oh, speaking of, did you see on Twitter that Niall said his top artist of the year was Taylor Swift?
Yeah. And Olivia Rodrigo, like, as you should.
Uh-huh.
He has taste.
Yeah.
Love him.
Good taste.
Iconic man. He said for his tour that if there's like an artist that he loves in a city that he's going to try to get them on stage. And I'm like, who lives in Seattle that he could bring on stage? Because that's a show I'm going to. It's like just outside of Seattle. I'm like, who could he bring? Because I've had some weird special guests this year on my tours.
Yeah.
Louis Capaldi brought out Chad Kroeger from Nickelback.
I remember you telling me about that.
I didn't even know he lived in Vancouver, but like that was weird. Like so random. Like never in a million years would that have been on my bingo card being like, yeah, Louis Capaldi's gonna bring out Nickelback. Like what? And they sang a Nickelback song, and like I was in the nosebleeds. This is so off topic, but I was in the nosebleeds, and it wasn't like in a big venue, so like the nosebleeds weren't like that high. Probably like equivalent to like a lower bowl in like a regular arena. And we were like in a dead section. Like nobody was standing. It was like all old people. It was really weird.
Yeah.
Like me and Lorena were the only people standing. We weren't even fully standing. Like we were kind of like resting our butts on our chairs, like our folded up chairs. It was weird. They came alive when Chad Kroeger was on stage.
Like, what?
It was weird. Like that's the time they were all singing. He sang Rockstar. It was so weird.
That's so funny.
I was like, all these old people are like, yes. I'm like, what are you doing here?
Maybe that's the only reason why they came, because they knew the Nickelback was going to be there.
And then the Jonas Brothers brought out Michael Bublé.
That's so random.
I also didn't know lived here.
That's crazy.
What? Yeah, and they used him as a segue to go into their Christmas song. Like once he left, they're like, now that we're in the Christmas mood, and they sang their Christmas song. But I was like, you didn't even sing Michael Bublé's Christmas song. So I'm like, what about him brought me in the Christmas mood?
Just him, I guess.
But like the second he came on stage, I was like, bubbly, because he's in all the bubbly commercials. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, I can show you some of my quotes, I guess.
Yeah. I need to.
Offensive.
I can see them from my phone, I think.
I would have tapped them because there were quite a few that I saw. But I didn't feel like grabbing my tabs. So. Plus, I was reading a Judy Garland biography, and I was tabbing and annotating that a lot, and so I kind of wanted to break from like having to like mark down things. I finished that last night. Superb. I cried. Okay, all I post page 96, 97. What part of this did I want to talk about? I'm assuming it's near the end.
Let's see.
Okay. This is like quite a long one, I think.
I have so many highlights. Jeez.
Oh, thank God. We have something to talk about. Okay. A week of puzzle pieces, sci-fi shows, and the smallest hints of a hard childhood. But at 2 a.m. in the guest house kitchen, it almost feels like he's glimpsing Charlie Winshaw in his entirety. Anxious and obsessive and still so fucking beautiful. Leaning into Deb like there's some secret part of Charlie that wants to let other people in but doesn't know how. I'm sorry I'm such a burden. I don't know why I read it like that. I like did the ellipses in the wrong part. That word opens a fissure inside Dev's chest. Burden. The way he felt as a kid every time his mom got off work early to take him to therapy. The way he felt every time his dad just wanted to spend a fun Saturday together, but he was too restless or too lethargic, too loud or too quiet. Spontaneously crying in front of a Rodin sculpture at the North Carolina Museum of Art. The way he felt every time they sat him down and begged him to just tell them what was wrong. And even though he loved words, loved using words to build stories and escape patches from the real world, he could never find the right ones to help his parents understand his heart and his mind.
Yeah, that whole scene.
Yeah, and then he's like, "You're not a burden, Charlie. Let me take care of you. It's my job."
I love him so much.
Also, the way that Charlie kept puking on poor Dev, like, disgusting.
I know.
I hate puking. I've got like a phobia of puking. So
yeah, I also hate it.
yeah, just him feeling like a burden, like my little Charlie. Never. Never.
The first thing I highlighted was when Charlie, I forgot what happened, but I think he made Dev upset. Oh, when he said that he doesn't believe, like, he didn't come to the show for love, and he doesn't believe that it's like you're gonna find love on the show, and Dev was like, oh, and then he just walks away. And then it says he tries not to obsess over what he did to anger Dev. Naturally, he obsesses over it. I was like,
yeah. There was like just so many like little lines that were just like, yeah, this is so relatable.
Mm-hmm. Oh, something that really got me was when Dev, he was like having a depressive episode, and Charlie was trying to help him, and I think it was, he either said it out loud or it was like in his like inner monologue, but he said that he's always been the one to take care of other people, and he's never had anyone to take care of him. I was like, oops. That one I started crying.
Even just like reading that quote out though, I was like, oh, I hate this POV.
Mm-hmm.
Like it just doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
Okay, I put my literal note. I sent you my notes, but it's page 148, vinyl grooves. And I knew that I wrote vinyl grooves just so I would know what part of the page I wanted to look at, but like, crazy.
I think I even messaged you back after you sent me that. I was like, vinyl grooves, what does that mean?
I don't remember seeing that text. Anyways, so basically, I think they're just like making out, like they're having like a fun time.
Yeah.
And Dev says in his like inner monologue is like he wishes he could preserve it in the grooves of a vinyl record and fall asleep listening to the song on repeat.
Yeah, I remember that one now.
Cute. So cute.
So good.
Like what a cute little way to write that.
Oh, I love them so much. Oh, and then I have one that made me angry, and my note on it is literally just
angry.
Yeah, but I think this was Charlie's point of view, and it was like something that his dad told him or something. It was that real men don't cry and definitely don't talk publicly about their self-care. I was like, that's gross. Obviously, they could cry.
Yeah. Ugh. Real men cry. And that's the tea.
That is the tea indeed.
That's the tea. Page 220.
Mm-hmm.
Your reaction. Calm down, honey. This is my last note. I literally took 3 notes. Dev says, "Oh, love," and some dormant thing, some part of Charlie that has secretly always wanted to be someone's love, comes to life inside him. Why are you crying, Charlie? Because you're perfect.
Yeah, the "oh, love" thing took me out.
And then he ruins it by being weird, and he licks Dev's Adam's apple, and I'm like, that's weird. Like, what a weird thing to fantasize about, sir.
I know.
Anyways.
It's strange.
Yeah, I loved how he always called him love. It was cute.
I know.
I'm a sucker
after that one time accidentally, and then he just kept saying it. I was like, yes.
I'm a sucker for main characters like calling people love. Like
Mm-hmm.
Warner and Shatter Me, it gets me.
Oh yeah.
Or Darling.
I briefly got to that, but yeah.
Can you, okay, if you're gonna do a reading vlog where you read my favorites, you have to read like Shatter Me and like you gotta get to the good shit.
I think I only read the first 2.5.
You read that far in and you're not obsessed?
I am obsessed. I don't remember why I stopped, but
oh
like,
my god, bestie.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was gonna do like a second chance reads, even though like I didn't like not like the series, but I think it would be fun to like restart it up with that. So
Oh, I want to finish rereading that series, and I was going to do it this year, but I just don't think I'm going to have time to do it. I also don't have enough pink tabs because I know I'm going to use a lot. I did ask for tabs for Christmas though in my stocking.
I should ask for tabs for Christmas.
My mom's like, I want to put like useful things that you need in your stocking. And I was like, tabs. I need tabs.
Please put me tabs. Okay, the next thing I had highlighted was Dev talking to Charlie, and he said, I think this is the best practice date I've ever had. Charlie doesn't tell Dev it's the best date he's had, period.
Yes.
So good. I think that's when they were puzzing.
Oh, yeah. Something like that.
Oh yeah, and then I highlighted the puzzing part where someone was asking him like what he likes to do, and he's like, well, I'm into puzzing.
Sorry.
It's so funny.
You know what? That was Charlie saying it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's something that I would do in my anxious brain too. Because like when you're anxious and like someone talks to you, it's like the weirdest things will come out of your mouth because you just like don't have time to prepare.
Because you feel like you just need to talk, so you don't like think before you talk. Like it just comes out. I've had that happen
like
to me.
Like when you're in a store and like the employee asks you like, oh, do you need help with anything? Like, what can I do for you? And like the normal response, right, if you don't need help, is, oh, we're just looking. Thanks.
Yeah.
Right. I had somebody ask me that when we were Christmas shopping recently. And in like not necessarily like an abrasive way, but just immediately what comes out of our mouth is, we're looking. Why? Like,
I know like right after you said that, you're probably like, oh.
Literally. Even as I was saying it, I was like, why did I do that? I think I said, we're looking, thanks. But I'm like, there's something about like needing the jest in there, like we're just looking, that like softens it, but like we're looking. It just felt weird. I was like, this is wrong. I shouldn't have said that. Like, I'm so sorry.
Aww. I'm sure they understood.
Like, it was just weird. I was like, we're looking, like, weird. My whole family laughed at me when I told them. I was like, you should not let me speak to the employees.
I'll never forget one time we went somewhere to get frozen yogurt, and I was ordering for myself, and I said frozen yogurt instead. It was I was so embarrassed. I was like, yeah, can I get a frozen yogurt, please? I don't think they picked up on it, but I never let myself live that down. Like, I think about it daily.
That's your Roman Empire?
Literally. I think about it so often. Even Dev brings it up to me. He'll just randomly say it. I'm like, stop.
Iconic. What did Dev think of the character having his name?
I told him when it started, I'm just like, this guy has your name. And then he was like, oh, that's cool. And then sometimes I would just be talking about him. I'm like, Book Dev is doing this right now. He's like, okay, thanks for telling me.
Okay. You should tell him. You should tell him that the character in the book I'm about to read also is named Dev.
Oh, yes. He's getting some traction.
Like, what are the chances that one was right after the other? I'm reading books.
I know.
Like, that's not like a super common name.
It's not.
It's weird.
Oh, so cool.
At least I think it's Josh and Hazel's. It's in one of the books that I was like gonna read this month.
I love that.
Yeah, hilarious.
This part's funny. This is when like Charlie like pieces together that Dev is gay, and then like he's asking like, how did you not know? And then Charlie said, in my defense, you're obsessed with helping straight people find love shorts.
His fashion gave me the ick.
Yeah.
I was like, Dev, I love you, but respectfully, I'm gonna picture you in different clothes.
Yeah.
Because I simply cannot.
They were just blobs.
Yeah.
In my head.
I mean, to be fair, like, I don't really picture things either, but like,
yeah, I
simply cannot. I don't even want to picture cargo shorts in my brain, let alone on a character.
Yeah, it was just funny.
Like, what a choice.
Yeah.
And like the thing is like he's not dressed like that on the cover.
I know. After I read that, I looked at it. I'm just like, he's not wearing shorts, those are pants.
Imagine if they put him in that on the cover.
That would be so funny.
Would anybody pick up the book? I don't know. Like, this is what I was picturing the entire book, is him dressed like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, simply cannot look at you any other way.
Oh, and then when Dev tells Charlie about his manuscript, and then like Charlie just immediately asks, like, can I read it? Dev says, read what? And then Charlie says, your script. And then Dev pushes the glasses to the bridge of his nose with his 2 fingers, and then said, why would you want to read it? And then Charlie said, because you wrote it.
That's so cute. I want that.
It was,
and like the way
and,
that he read it so quickly and like just like ran into his room.
yeah, and then Charlie said something about like, I forgot what he said, but then like Dev was just like, oh, that would mean that people had to have read it. And then Charlie's like, what do you mean? Like, who else has read it? And then he's like, just you. Only you've read it.
Yeah, like that's so cute. Like not even his best friend read it. Adorable. Yeah. And like to share your writing with somebody, that's like quite like an intimate thing.
Really personal. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, and then this was Dev's point of view, and it says to have someone listen, to have someone give him permission to let go of the fun Dev mask a tiny bit, just for a minute.
The whole like fun Dev part really got me.
Yeah, that one hurt me a lot. Yeah. The thing that also got me too was when he was talking to Ryan about like how he only had to be fun Dev in front of him, and Ryan was like, I tried to help, but you'd push me away. He was just like, oh.
Yeah, like his perception of that relationship was like not necessarily the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And that must have been hard, but like also like it was gonna work out with him anyways because he belongs to Charlie. Really.
Yeah, I mean, they're meant to be together.
Yeah, it all happened the way it was supposed to, but I wish that he didn't like have those feelings.
Yeah, me too. It's sad.
But I really do love the mental health rep in this book because I feel like some of my favorite romances are the ones that go a bit deeper. I love a good like cheesy romance, you know, like with not a whole lot of depth, but like the ones that like go into the mental health, go into like problems like that. I find they connect with me the most. So things like 10 Rules for Faking It by Sophie Sullivan, which is one of my favorite books of things like you read. Like, my God, that book hit me in the like right where it hurts. Love that. Emily Henry's books always have good, deeper stuff in them that I really like.
Yes. Oh, speaking of, I was able to get Happy Place from Libby. I'm gonna be reading that soon. I'm so excited. I saw that it was available and I gasped because there was like a month-long wait for it not that long ago, and I was like, jeez.
I'm struggling right now because the final book in the Once Upon a Broken Heart series is out, and I always listen to the audiobooks for Stephanie Garber, and I need to reread the first 2 because I don't remember a lot, and I also get them confused with Kingdom of the Wicked because parts of the plots kind of remind me of each other, and so I want to make sure that I'm super clear on like what is Once Upon a Broken Heart and what is Kingdom of the Wicked. And so I've had a hold on all 3 books for a while, and the second book keeps coming in.
No,
I'm like, I need the first.
I hate when that happens.
But like the first book has such a long wait for it. They're like, I'm gonna get the last book before I get the first one, and it's so annoying. Like, buy more copies of it for God's sake. I have a 14-week wait for Once Upon a Broken Heart. I started 18th in line, and I'm now 8th in line. There's 36 people waiting total. Crazy. Ballad of Never After, which is the second book, was available for me today, and I said, no, deliver later. Cannot have it right now. And then the new one, A Curse for True Love, 4 weeks. That's a 10-week difference.
Yeah.
So I'm going to need some people to listen to Once Upon a Broken Heart quickly and return
5
it
times speed
real quick. Because I want to know how it ends. Oh, so apparently something crazy happens at the end of the second book, and I do not remember what it was.
I think I started reading the first one, but then I think it was when I was coming here once, and then I just stopped reading once I got here.
They're fun. I like them.
I liked what I read.
Stephanie Garber's books hit for me better on audiobook I've never like properly physically read one. I physically read, I think, just the last bit of Caraval along with the audiobook, which
that book is so good.
was a whole different thing.
Yeah.
But Rebecca Soler, my favorite audiobook narrator, narrates the audiobooks. So
yeah, that's probably why they hit different.
Gotta listen to them. Like, oh my god, if you guys have not listened to a Rebecca Soler, I said her name weird, Rebecca Soler, audiobook, you're missing out. Okay, all of Marissa Meyer's,
I was gonna
books.
say that.
Sadie by Courtney Summers. I wonder if there's anything else that she does, because I've only listened to those ones. But probably. Marissa Meyer's audiobooks, because of her, are so good. My god, Rebecca Soler. Like, she's the only like audiobook narrator I know by name. Oh my gosh, she did Fourth Wing. There you go. So if people want to be reading Fourth Wing right now, I do not want to read it, but you know, there you go. She has a Star Wars book. She's one of the many narrators for that one. A Minecraft book.
I love Minecraft.
Ooh, she did a Judy Blume book. Does she do all of Judy Blume's books? Because I've got some in my list. What else? She did really well with Sadie. Ooh, The Hazelwood by Melissa Albert. That used to be a popular book.
I remember when that one first came out.
How is there an audiobook for Nimona? Nimona's a graphic novel.
That's a graphic novel. Unless they made like a short story thing.
I guess. She narrates Nimona. That's interesting. She does some Sarah Dessen books. Sea Fire by Natalie C. Parker. I love her so much. Genuine Fraud by E. Lockhart. Undead Girl Gang by Lily Anderson. That was popular a few years ago.
I forgot about that one.
Jane Unlimited by Kristen Kishore. That has like that really like iridescent holographic cover.
What's that book even about? I never knew.
Could not tell you.
I just remember the cover because it was very sparkly.
Why are audiobooks so expensive? Like, why is this one audiobook $35 on Audible? Verona Comics by Jennifer Dugan. I wanted to read that. Ooh. I might need to see if the library has it. Because I trust Rebecca Soler with my life. Like, she's so good. Like, I've just taken this huge segment of this.
Yeah.
Look into what she's done. Yeah, that's it. Her most popular ones are obviously like Stephanie Garber, Marissa Meyer.
Oh,
Please hold while I look up Verona Comics. Please have the audio book. Oh my god, they do not have it, but I will ask them to buy it.
Ooh. Oh, okay. I have another highlighted thing. I think this was Dev's point of view, maybe, but it said most of the time Dev is like a human bonfire walking around, generously warming everyone with his presence, but burning that bright and that fiercely must be so exhausting. No one can sustain it forever. I was like, oh, that's so sad.
Yeah. I think this book would have worked better in third person past. Or even if they wanted like the immediacy of like the anxiety or the depression, then like first person present. Yeah.
Oh. And then this one says Charlie understands so clearly that Dev has spent 4 weeks trying to convince Charlie he deserves something Dev doesn't believe he himself deserves. Because he kept telling him that like you deserve to be loved too, and like all that stuff. That's just
yeah, like when you're reading that to me, it reads like my outlines, but like just like with nicer like language.
Yeah, it's just prettier,
like, cleaner prose, but like it reads like an outline to me. Like, oh, this character does this, and then they do this, and they feel like this, and I don't know how other people write their outlines, but that's how I do mine.
That's how
just,
I
like,
do mine too.
Yeah. Like, weird. I don't know.
Mhm.
It's such a weird choice to me.
Yeah. I think like reading it yourself, like without like it out loud, it reads better. But like
And, like,
whatever.
getting lost in the story and not just hearing a
Yeah.
quote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
But,
I have
like, I
another
would
one.
just love to talk to an author that writes in that
Yeah.
kind of, because I'm like, just why? Like, what went into that? Because I do feel like choosing what tense and POV you're writing can sometimes be, like, a very intentional choice. Like, for me, Reasons Why Not To is an intentional choice, and now I just literally cannot write any other way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'd be curious to know. Just why? Why?
Just tell us why.
Why? Like, third person in general is not my favorite.
Yeah,
I prefer a first person.
Cool.
But, like, the second I opened that book, I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, the book that I'm working on right now is gonna be third past. But when I first started drafting it, I had to like write it out in first person and then figure out how to work it into third person because I write better in first. So that took a minute, but
never written third person.
It's a little tricky.
I think actually I might have done one short story in third. Maybe back in high school.
Maybe. I've been sitting with my knee up this whole time, and now it really hurts. But it's just so much more comfortable.
Yeah.
This one was about Dev's depression when he was falling into his depressive episode. And it said it shouldn't have been enough to trigger his depression, but unfortunately that's not how depression works. It's not logical or reasonable. It doesn't need some catastrophic tragedy to turn chemicals of his brain against him. Tiny tragedies are more than enough. Like,
yeah, I remember that one. I like that one too. Like, it's true. Like, there doesn't have to be like some all big, like, consuming reason why you like become anxious or become depressed. There's like a lot of
sometimes it just happens.
I don't know where it came from.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just wake up like that.
Yeah. When you wake up with it, it's the worst because then you like it just stays with you all day.
It's better when there's a reason.
You don't even know why.
It's better if there's a reason because then you can understand it. But then it's like, I'm just feeling like shit and I don't know why.
Yeah.
Because then you can't explain it to other people either. Because it's like, they're like, what's wrong? And you're like,
I literally don't know. Yeah, that happens to me quite often.
I've been feeling like that kind of like all week. So
yeah, it sucks. Oh, and then this is when Charlie like opened up to Dev about something, and then like he was talking about his own mental health, and he's like, which is to say, I get it. I get not wanting to talk about your mental health with most people, but you can talk to me about it if you ever want to.
Cute.
And
just
then
love the way they supported each other.
I know, that was my favorite, and just like I love them.
It felt very healthy. Cute.
It did, and it just felt so like real too. Like it was just I don't know. It felt like real life.
Like everything that I wanted.
Yes, exactly. It's so good. And then they were talking about therapy. And then Charlie says needing therapy doesn't mean you're broken. I've been in therapy for my OCD since I was 12, and not because I want to prove anything to anyone but myself. Like, wow.
Yeah, I loved Dev's development in that of how he was like, I don't need therapy. I'm like, I'm fine. It's like, sir, you are not fine.
Yeah, and then he just had like a moment at the end of the book where he's like, you know what? I need to do this, and I like how he did that for himself. Because it is a scary thing to like do, and just like admitting that you need help is the hardest part. But once you push yourself to that point and like you do it, like it's so beneficial.
I'm sure.
So yeah. Oh, and then when he's talking to Parissa, and then he said, "You're kind of my best friend, okay? And I like love you or whatever." That one was cute.
So cute. I feel like this book was just very well rounded in like the characters and the world and everything going on.
It was very good. Oh, and then when they were on the boat, I forgot where they were. I think it was Bali, maybe. But then the captain says, "You are very beautiful." Dev isn't sure if he means Charlie or if he means Charlie and Dev together. He wants to believe it's the latter.
Imagine the budget that this show has in order to send all of these women, all of the crew, like, all of these people, to all these like magnificent places. I was not expecting that when I picked up the book.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know
they were going everywhere.
I do not know any dating show that does that.
No.
Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, they're rich.
Oh my god. The part where they were sharing a big king-sized bed, and like I think when Dev maybe is telling what's her face, his friend, you literally just said her name.
Jules? Yes. Or Parissa.
And he's like telling her about him and Charlie, and she's like, duh, like me and Parissa could have shared a king-size bed. Obviously.
I love her.
It's like, it was so obvious. Like, I'm sure everybody in the world knew what they were doing. They were like, we're just pretending.
Yeah. It's just practice.
So discreet.
Oh, that's so funny. What else? Let's see. Oh, when they go, I think it's, where is Charlie from? Is it San Francisco? Maybe.
I think so.
Whenever they're back in his hometown, he says coming home doesn't feel like the right way to describe it. For Charlie, it feels like the past and present colliding in his chest. That one was very good.
Colliding in the chest for me.
Yeah. And then he was talking about how like his apartment is so high up. And then he said on the 20th floor, it always felt like the past could never reach him.
Stop. That's crazy.
So,
that's just crazy talk.
Oh, and then he was thinking about like when the show was over, how it's like getting close to ending. He could have everything he ever wanted, so why couldn't he stop thinking about the little house in Venice Beach that smells like oatmeal and bleach?
The little life that like they dreamed up for, like with each other, was so cute.
So cute.
I want love. So cute.
Oh, this one is a really big one. I think this is Charlie talking, and he's talking to Dev, and then he said, "I love you because you try to understand my brain, even though you're terrible at being patient, and because you're passionate about the stupidest things, and because you're the most beautiful person I've ever seen. I love how you make me laugh. I love your ugly cargo shorts, and I love how cranky you get when you're hungry, and I love how stubborn you are, and I love you despite those things. Oh, and I don't love you despite those things. I love you because of those things."
That's always.
And then like
lines like that always get me.
Yeah. And then Charlie said, "I get that you're in pain right now. I know this show isn't what you want it to be, and I get that you're pulling away because you're scared of how much it's going to hurt, but I love you. I love you so much right now. I can't imagine not ever loving you. And it's okay if you don't love me back yet. I can love us enough for the both of us."
Literally. Oh,
yeah.
I remember that line. Got me.
Yeah.
The only part that I don't like about that is I love your cargo shorts. Your ugly cargo shorts. It's like,
that's why I laughed.
I can't.
Not the cargo shorts.
Like cargo pants are one thing. Cargo shorts.
Yeah. It's just like jorts.
Stop.
Oh, and then they were talking about happily ever after. And then Charlie said, "I don't think happily ever after is something that happens to you. It's something you choose for yourself." Period.
Facts.
It's so good. Oh, and then they were talking about how, like, I don't remember. I think this might have been, I don't remember who. But they said, "I fell in love with Daphne, who became one of my closest friends. It's not romantic love, but I think it matters just as much."
Yeah.
Those types of relationships are so good, too. Let's see. This was Charlie before Dev came back. And then he said, "As much as I grew over the course of the show, that growth was dependent on Dev. And when he left, I realized my happiness couldn't be contingent on another person. I've been learning how to be healthy on my own, and wherever he is, I hope Dev's doing the same thing."
I feel like that was so important.
It was, because it is easy to like rely on someone who helps you that much, but then obviously you have to do that work for yourself too. and like just be comfortable working through things alone. And it's just,
So good.
it was very good. That was the last of my highlights. But yeah, I liked the book a lot.
Yeah, I do think I would have liked it more if it was told in a different way. But like I said, like I was able to like let go of that as I was reading, because I liked everything else so much. But I'm not as obsessed with it as I wish that I was.
Yeah.
Like,
I think I got past the writing style, and I
yeah. I really, really loved it. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I was fangirling. I think I teared up at one point. Like, I don't even know. But I just think it could have, this was told differently. There was a bit of distance that I wish wasn't there.
Yeah.
So, like I could let go of it. I still, like, noticed it the entire way through. Especially if I put the book down and came back to it.
Yeah. Which is a bummer.
Yeah, but that's a me thing. That's just a personal thing that I don't like. So
yeah, but it was good. I'm glad we picked it for November. Well, we didn't pick it. I'm glad everyone else picked it for November.
We picked it as a choice, as an option.
Yeah.
Do you know what I find so funny? So this is the book for November, right? Our book for December is A Spanish Love Deception.
I have the same color palette. I love that. I noticed that this morning.
Yeah, I noticed when I was making the announcement post, because I always just take like the previous thing I was working on Canva, delete the cover that was there before and add the new one. And I was like, they're the same. They're just like slightly different, but it's the same.
Yeah.
So like now my bullet journal spread, they're just gonna like be two of us like right next to each other. Yeah. So our December book club pick is The Spanish Love Deception by Elena Armas, which I am so excited for.
Yes. I'm excited, but I'm also nervous because it's so like hyped up and there's like so many mixed reviews. But like I've been wanting to read it for a while.
Me too. I have high hopes because I love fake dating. So already it has a leg up going into it. Yeah. And then, you know, fake dating at a wedding, that always gets me. Aaron Blackford, I've heard amazing things. Like, I think from people who don't like this book, they still love Aaron Blackford, I think. So I'm very excited. So if you want to join with us in December, we're reading The Spanish Love Deception. It's our final book of the year. I'm so proud of us. We've done this for over a year now. Just
I know.
Claps for us.
October was our year mark.
Amazing. So we've done officially a full calendar year from January to December. It's amazing. I feel like I'm gonna sneeze, which is just not exciting.
Nope.
I'm trying to keep it in my nose. We might do some sort of reading sprint live show at some point during this month, which will be a lot of fun. So keep an eye out on that. Our Twitter is linked down below if you guys want to go check it out. Follow us on there. But yeah, we have been having so much fun.
Yeah.
Not how I wanted to word that. That's not how I wanted to word that. We had a lot of fun discussing the charm offensive today. But we will see you guys next time.